Welcome to Grow and Preserve. I'm Carter. I'm thrilled you're here with me today. I have a great one for you. I may live in Tennessee now, but I have been a Georgia girl most of my life. And when I see peaches, I'm gonna have to do something with the peaches. So I do not have a peach tree. Well, I take that back. I ordered a peach tree. It arrived very late, about 3/4 of the way dead. It's fully dead now. So I didn't get any of my own peaches this year. I was at a roadside stand a couple days ago and I saw that they had a pack of freestone peaches. So I had to buy those. A pack is generally about 10 pounds. This came in at over 13 pounds, so I'm thrilled to death. I'm gonna be making 3 different things. So today I am doing a peach chutney, which is kind of a sweet and spicy spread. It's divine. So we'll do that together today. I think tomorrow I'll probably do a peach salsa, and then I may do a peach jam as well. And then I think we'll eat the rest fresh. So I am thrilled. So I'm gonna bring you down, show you what I have. I've done most of the chopping so far, so we can go ahead and get to it. I'm gonna show you real quickly how I do a peach. You know, you can drop it in boiling water, but you know, I don't know, it's a peach. It's so easy to peel. So I'll bring you down and I'll show you what we've got. All right, so in this pan, I have a 1.5 cups of apple cider vinegar. I have 1.25 cups of brown sugar. Now, I actually used allulose and molasses, but the recipe calls for 1.25 cups of brown sugar. And I went ahead and I dropped the peaches in there with the vinegar so that they would not start turning brown already. So I'm gonna show you how I peel a peach. Again, this is a freestone peach and it makes all the difference. So just cut her on the middle. And then we're gonna cut it into smaller slices here. And I just peel it. Comes off relatively easily. These are divine peaches. And then I'm just gonna cut into little chunks and drop them in there. So this is 3 pounds of peaches. And this recipe is from the Spruce Eats. So it had some good reviews. I will post it for you in a link below. Do you have peach trees? Have you canned anything with peaches? Do you can plain peaches? You know, I have to tell you, I went through this sort of transition over my years of canning. When I started back in 2012, I was only water bath canning. So I was canning all the condiments, the relishes, the chutneys, the jams and jellies, the conserves. And it was wonderful, except I, you know, looked at my pantry one day and I thought, my gosh, I don't have any actual food that I can feed my family. So then I swung the other way and thought, well, I'm gonna start doing just ingredients of foods that I can feed my family. So I was canning plain peaches. I'm gonna wash my hands. And canning plain meats and canning plain vegetables. And I had food to feed my family and I could season it up, but I couldn't really make it spectacular because I didn't have the prepared condiments that we love so much. So now I found, I think, a happy balance in all of that. And now I have both. I have the single ingredients and I have the wonderful jams and jellies and relishes and salsas and everything that makes everything taste so much better. All right, so let's get everything else in here. So the recipe calls for 1 medium onion. This came out of the garden, so I have chopped that very finely. It calls for 1 peeled and seeded small lemon. So I've done that. It calls for 1/4 cup of fresh ginger. I used 1/4 cup of candied ginger. So, I don't know, I love it. I absolutely love it. I have fresh ginger. Sometimes I use that, but I really like that ginger. Now, it also calls for 1 cup of golden raisins. These are sometimes hard to find. I found them at Trader Joe's. So Okay, this is what I got at Trader Joe's. And I'm just gonna show you the crystallized ginger. I get this at Sprouts. So if you have a Trader Joe's and a Sprouts, maybe you'll find those two items. One small chili, this is a jalapeno from the garden. Get that in there. And then in here, I have half a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of allspice, and a 1/4 teaspoon of coriander. So I'll get that all in there. So I'm gonna take this over to the stove, and we're gonna cook it down until I can drag a spoon across the bottom and it's thick enough to not immediately flow back in. So we'll do that, and I'll get my jars heating up. Okay, just a quick look. I thought I'd bring you over, show you how wonderful this is looking. I do love a recipe that says put everything in the pan and cook it. So that should be pretty darn easy. So I'm thinking this will probably be 15 to 20 minutes before it's broken down and congealed enough. I have my jars in the canner and they are heating up and we'll be ready to go. So I'll be back soon. Okay, how amazing did that look? We are ready. I am going to turn this off and we're going to get it into the jars. Bring you down just for a second to show you how it pulls away. You see how it pulls away there? So I think we're ready to go. Okay, I'm using my small canner today and it will hold 7 half pints. I don't think I have 7 in here, but we're gonna see. If I can get 7, I'd be thrilled. It is divine. I tasted it earlier. It is absolutely fantastic. So we are going to fill these to 1/2 inch headspace. Jars are hot, chutney's hot. Well, I'm gonna bring you down so you can see this a bit. There we go. Okay, let's get these filled. Ooh, you're bouncing. Delicious. Very hot jar. I'm gonna get these all filled, then I'm gonna debubble, then I'm gonna wipe the rims, make sure there's nothing sticky on those rims so that I get a good seal. And then these only need to be in the canner for 10 minutes at a full rolling boil. We'll have some peach chutney in the pantry. I am so pleased about that. So let's talk about chutneys for a second and what I do with them. They are delicious on a cracker and salami and cheese board for appetizers. I mean, just the combination is just killer. They're also fantastic on like a pork tenderloin. Even on like a gourmet hamburger if you're doing that. Piece of chicken, they're fantastic. You can blend them up and add a little bit of regular barbecue sauce and it becomes a whole different level of barbecue sauce. You can also blend them up, use them as a glaze. Like this would be an excellent glaze for baked salmon or pork tenderloin or chicken for that matter. I think I'm only gonna get one more, which is very sad. I'd like to have a full canner of them. Oops. Okay. Hoping for at least a little bit left over that I could snack on, but that's not going to happen. perfect. Okay, so that's 5 half pints and a big mess, which is pretty much my MO. Okay, these jars are really tasty. I'm just gonna debubble, make sure everything is good. I just use a plastic fork or knife for this. You don't want to use metal because you could damage the jar. There's a debubbler that comes in canning kits, but mine has long since hit the road. Okay, everything looks good. Got about a 1/2 inch headspace on everything. It's beautiful. Now, everything's been debubbled. I'm gonna take a little bit of just plain white vinegar and a clean paper towel. Ow, run around the rims. These jars are very hot. Make sure I'm gonna get a clean seal. This is sweet and spicy and absolutely delicious. I'm clean up my mess while I'm at it. Now, new lids. I'm gonna need something to, here, let me hold over this. These are seriously hot. Okay, new lids, put those on, push the ring till it catches, and then just go a smidge further. Okay. And when you put these in the water bath canner, if you haven't done much canning before, you're gonna want the water to be 1 inch to 2 inches above the jars. Okay, that's good to go. These are so hot. I'm gonna use my mitt underneath. Oh my goodness. But look at how beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous? The peaches still retain some of their color because I put them in the vinegar in the beginning. Now they'll be a little bit darker when they come out. But you'll still know that they are fresh peaches and not some brown discolored something. You see that? It's beautiful. Okay, get the lid on the canner. So I've turned the canner up a bit. We're gonna bring it to a full boil, and once it's at a full boil, I'll set the timer for 10 minutes. And once the 10 minutes is up, I'll turn it off, remove the lid, let them sit for 5 minutes, and then we'll bring them out. So I'll bring you back when they're done. See you soon. Okay, these are done, and I'm so excited. Oh, they look fantastic. Oh, I'm pleased to have those on the shelf. I only got 5 half-pint jars, but that's okay. Oops, and there's a ding. That's what I needed to hear. Okay, so I feel like today I'm hearing lots of little pings on the jar, so everything is gonna seal just great. So today, while it was about preservation, and I did preserve peaches at prime ripeness and jalapeno and onion from my garden, this was really primarily about getting something on the shelf for this winter and on into next spring that will liven up the meals, change things up, give me something fun to put on a pork tenderloin to make it different. Put on a chicken breast, because you know, chicken breast gets boring. So I'm very happy to have these on the shelf, and I hope that you won't go all one way or the other like I did. So not all condiments and beautiful, pretty, yummy things that aren't really meals, and not all single ingredient things that are great and extremely useful, and you have to have them full of proteins and that kind of stuff, but they get a little boring. So I think that having a mix of the two has been really critical in my pantry. It allows me to pretty much put together a meal on the fly anytime I want, whether we have guests coming over or it's just the two of us sitting here. So I hope that you have your plan figured out for how you're going to do your preserving and what you want to get into your pantry this year. So that's it for today. We are, well, I may not be done yet, but I may do a little bit more, but maybe you'll see that tomorrow or the next day. So I hope that you will take a moment to like the video and subscribe. I'm a new channel and I'd love to have your support. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye.